Jackie Chan is one of our favourites. Good or bad, we always get excited about his new projects. Before the release of the Chan and John Cena-led action blockbuster Project Extraction hits the big and small screen, let's take a look at his last 5 movies. Hi, I'm Yardy Dance from Asian Film Fans, and alongside my good friend and collaborator John from the awesome action movie website actionflix.com, welcome to this Asian action hot list. And in this video, we're going to do some quick, rapid-fire reviews of the 5 Jackie Chan movies that released before Project Extraction. We're only looking at Chan movies where he has a major role. This means movies like Namiya, The Climbers, 9 to 5, and All You Need Is Love are not covered due to his minor cameo roles. Also, they aren't action flicks, and you're here for the action. Now let's get into it, and we're going to start with one hell of a great film. The Foreigner tells the story of a humble London businessman whose long-buried past erupts in a revenge-fueled vendetta when the only person left for him to love, his teenage daughter, is taken from him in a senseless act of politically motivated terrorism. In his relentless search for the identity of the terrorists, he is forced into a cat-and-mouse conflict with an Irish government official, whose own past may hold clues to the identity of the elusive killers. With a career spanning multiple decades and mostly known for delivering hyper-paced martial arts excitement with a comedic twist, a much older and wiser Jackie Chan gets serious with this 2017 action thriller which teams him up with Pierce Brosnan. The film is a tight, taut nail-biter, with Chan delivering one of his best dramatic performances to date, and in his 60s, he shows audiences that he can still deliver the bone-crunching goods. Gone is the humorous extended action sequences, and instead, fans get to see Chan dish out some brutal close-quarters fight sequences. Throw in James Bond himself, and this is one awesome thriller with Chan demonstrating that he's still got it when it comes to exhilarating fight scene action. John at Action Flix rates this movie 4.5 stars out of 5, and I wholeheartedly agree with that rating. This movie is awesome. Hong Kong Police Inspector Lin Dong learns that a biochemical invention has been surgically implanted into his missing daughter. With help from a hacker, Lin tries to connect the dots between the device, a sinister army, and a strange phenomenon. Never one to label himself in the genre that he helped build throughout the years, Chan switches it up a little with this sci-fi action effort which relies heavily on CGI-infused special effects. This one is a mixed bag, as the movie suffers from unfunny jokes, poorly used CGI, characters you don't really care about, and a plot that is all over the place. The good news is that it still features some pretty fierce action set pieces, and once again, in his 60s, Chan is still proving that he is the one and only master of on-screen fight action as he executes numerous fisticuffs and stunts like he's still young. Forget about the rest of the movie and just stay for Chan doing what he does best. It's unfortunate that 2017 gave us both the best and worst of Chan. John at Action Flix rates this movie 2.5 stars out of 5, but I think he's being far too generous. This movie was rubbish, and even with the Australian connection, it's a massive thumbs down from me. A rather simple movie, this one. A legendary demon hunter investigates the disappearance of young girls from a village. Chan delivers to his fanbase a fantasy epic, and those expecting a slam-bang fight fest will surely be disappointed, as this one is more about the fantasy, adventure, and once again, CGI-fueled mayhem. Some of the versions of this film suffer from poor translations, but it still has Chan and his charisma all over it, and even though this is more of a wire-fu spectacle than a Jackie Chan jaw-dropping stunt and action fest, it is still worth a watch if you're in the mood for this type of flick. The ending is way over the top with all the special effects, but Chan's presence elevates what would be a forgettable film without his involvement. John at Action Flix rates this movie as average, with 2.5 stars out of 5. I haven't seen this one, and from the footage I have seen, it doesn't have any appeal to me, so I'll leave this unrated. For the first time ever, screen legends Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan face off against each other in the epic fantasy adventure Iron Mask. In order to save his homeland from certain doom, a kung fu master, must escape from the maniacal James Hook in order to send his daughter a secret talisman that will allow her to control a massive and mythical dragon. This larger-than-life, globe-trotting tale, ranging from the impenetrable Tower of London to the fabled Silk Road and China's Great Wall, also stars Rutger Hauer in one of the Screen Icon's final performances. This is a curious one, as it is a co-production from Russia and China, and it pretty much has everything thrown into it, including the kitchen sink. There's martial arts action, pirates, monsters, and a lot of WTF moments in it. If you turn your brain off, and I do mean way off, it might serve as a 2-hour time burner. The advertising is false here though, as Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger are top billed and all over the marketing campaign. And while they are in it and they do tangle, they're slightly more than cameos here, with other actors you probably haven't heard of being the main characters. It's ambitious and a mess, but the two action legends do make an impression in what little screen time they have. John at Action Flicks gives this movie 2 stars out of 5. This is another one I haven't seen, and again doesn't have much appeal, so I'll take John's rating as advice that I should avoid this. When a client of the international Vanguard security agency is kidnapped during China's famous lunar celebrations in London, this elite team is sent to the rescue, taking them on a wildly ambitious mission all over the world. The adventure takes them from the rivers of Africa to the heavily guarded fort in India and an exhilarating car chase in Dubai, all the while unraveling a global conspiracy. In 2020, Jackie was back in a big way with the big-budget globe-trotting action adventure Vanguard, which reunited Chan with director Stanley Tong, who directed him in such classics like Rumble in the Bronx. Unfortunately here, Vanguard is an absolute mess, with some of the worst CGI seen lately. That tiger was horrible. And action scenes that were so over the top, it almost became a comic book. Chan is more of a co-star here, as the younger stars like Yang Yang take over, and while he is the brightest spot of the film, delivering the best action sequences, it's not saying a lot. Coming from Chan and Tong, we expected a lot more in return, but in the end, it's a severely missed opportunity. This one is for Jackie Chan's superfans only. John at Action Flicks gave this movie 2 stars out of 5, and I have to agree with him again. It's an almost movie, full of a lot of missed opportunities and things we don't expect or want from a Chan movie, such as excessive CGI. Thank you for watching our video. As you can see, these last 5 efforts have been severely hit or miss, but we feel that Jackie should give us more of what he did in The Foreigner. He's older now, and that type of action suits him much better these days. So there you have it, the first Asian action hot list. Check back in the future as we will cover it all from the world of Asian action cinema. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to see more, and add actionflix.com to your favourites list.